for now.
All right, here we go.
I got kind of used to two sides. Sides of indifference. You know what that is?
Size of indifference?
Sides of indifference.
Sides of indifference.
Yeah.
Indifference is typically the middle ground.
people-
correct?
Exactly. That's why it was the name of my first band.
Oh, that's badass.
It wasn't Mouse Rat.
No.
Mouse Rat.
Well, the first band we were going to have, me and a buddy of mine,
You forgot to take this, by the way.
Humble Mouse Rat.
it was going to be either... Oh, you broke it.
Damn it.
We were talking about making the name of the band Toast.
Milk, like
Or like Powdered Toast Man.
toast.
Like
Toast.
1, 2,
Toast to that.
3. Toast.
Do you like our
Toast.
levels, Corey?
Toasting.
Yeah, no,
1,
they
2,
look
3.
They look good. Toasty. They look toasty as fuck.
You have to
Toasty.
go to this, right? Dakota, do you want to go to this?
What is this?
It's the Authentis.
Oh.
And
Do you want to go film that with Corey on next Saturday?
have we gotten confirmation on our press
No
pass yet?
official confirmation. I'll get on him again.
Okay, yeah, because
Do
if
you
we
wanna
can
go
get
to that?
like
Are you available next Saturday?
Yeah.
if we can get
run a
if we
camera
can get a
and
legit
sound.
press pass so that we can
Well, you
be
take
in there.
your camera.
Yeah, I'll take the
Dakota
DSLR.
can take my other one, and then I can give you my mini cube also.
Okay. It'd be cool if I can stick the mini cube like on the headstock of a guitar. That'd be
Or a
bad.
crowd shot or like back at the.
Yeah, like down the neck,
Yeah.
like from the headstock down to the hands. That would be dope as fuck.
Hell
Anyways, welcome to Sequel Podcast. We are on episode 115.
115 on 115 on 118
We got
2017.
Dakota here, as always. No, not as always. Corey, as
As-
always.
Corey is always
As infrequently.
as infrequently and special guest Dakota.
Sides of
Cummings.
infrequency.
Sides of infrequency. Repetitive
And,
infrequency.
I'm Matt Bont, and this is a go. Now I've got a little game for you guys. I hope you're up for it.
Always. We're up for challenge.
I like games.
All right, so here I'll
I
be
like,
back.
I like games.
I like games. You want to play games?
I like to play games with my friends. Yeah, that was, I don't know, we were drunk at a bar. We were down at Keystone Q and Cushion, mentioning the Sides of Indifference. And we were like, yeah, we're going to fucking start a band. And we were all jacked and we were fucking drunk as shit.
Oh, yeah.
And we were singing some stupid shit that was on the jukebox, like we were fucking going to rock, right? And we had a shop space and we were fucking ready to roll. And we were just like throwing names around. And everybody's like, no, that one's stupid. Nah, that one's stupid. Nah, that wasn't cool. But Sides of Indifference came out, and it was like, dude, that's it. That's the fucking one. We're gonna be on
Looks
the
like a
fucking
bunch of
radio.
shots.
They're not full shots.
They look like halfers.
They're just tasters. Did you guys want a beer?
I'll have a beer.
I will have a beer.
Thank you, sir.
Or you got a thing, or
And then what did we do? What did we
Dakota's
do?
got a thing. Oh.
What did we do after that? Because we actually had two names. We had one name, and then when our lead guitarist left, we changed the name.
was it off Mentis?
It was something like that. Yeah,
Was it?
it was really close, but it wasn't quite.
ourselves Led Zeppelin.
Whoa. Never heard of that.
Yeah, because it'll be funny because lead doesn't. It's not. It's heavy.
We'll throw an A in there. We'll call it LEAD Zeppelin.
We'll call it Led Zeppelin, like
Lead Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin.
Lead Zeppelin.
It could be lead is spelled the same way as lead. Don't fuck with me.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. So the game is
Stella Artois.
Corey
Yes, sir.
and Dakota.
Okay.
This is 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
And and Corey, you take the clear colored alcohols,
Okay.
and Dakota, you'll take the
Brown colored liqueurs.
mahoganies.
Mahogany.
And we'll see if you can guess what they are. So we'll test your taste.
Your taste buds.
I have a list of what they are. So I think Dakota's got the harder job because I didn't have that many different.
Brown liquors.
Right, but
So
I did.
there's like different kinds of whiskey in there.
No, I'm not saying what's in there.
Okay. See, I was trying to fish for you.
Yeah, but see if I
Good looking out.
I'm like, okay, so this one is fucking Crown Royal, and this one's Jack Daniels, and this. There's no way anybody would.
You know what they are.
I do know. I've got the list right here.
Okay, and they're in the right order.
They are in the right order. That's why it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right,
And
Corey.
I'm gonna say right up front that I am bad with clear liquor because that's not my
I'm just
not
bad
my-
with the liquor.
it's not my bag.
Like, well,
All right, maybe you want to smell it first.
it tastes like I'm gonna get drunk.
We got the swish noise. What was it that I was saying last week?
I don't know if you heard, Corey. But I did.
That's gotta be like a 15-year-old rubbing alcohol.
Fine.
I'm gonna go
That's
with
the
straight.
purple.
That's gotta be vodka.
All right, number one.
Of brand, I have no idea. Number one, I'm
Pull
saying
me out a pen out of there.
top drawer.
Top drawer. I don't want to.
Ugh. Yeah.
Do you think I should
That's-
be talking closer, Dakota?
Yes.
So Corey's first guess is vodka. I will allow you to change your guess, by the way.
One.
If I taste something else that tastes more like vodka,
No, that one was vodka.
that one was definitely vodka,
Okay, so number two.
and it also didn't smell like anything.
This one might be obvious.
That's tequila. I don't even have to drink it, but I'm gonna.
Te gusta? I'm like, tequila?
What do you think of the? Is it smooth?
It's Neho.
We're breaking copyright
It's tasty.
infringements over here. Dakota's
no.
singing.
Tequila!
All right, you're.
Every time I hear that song, I think of Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, yeah.
Well, clearly, like that's the thing, man.
That's the dance.
All right, number
I think
three
I like if there was an official dance for this. I think that's it.
is the.
It's true.
Yeah, like he probably got together with the artist and was like, "Hey,
You got to
I
get
got a
those
rockin',
bikers.
I got a rockin' fucking jig for your tune, and it's gonna go like this, and I'm gonna wear wooden shoes and I'm gonna dance on the bar."
Not the strangest thing that night during that conversation, since they were at a porn house at the same time.
True.
Actually, true.
No, because he
good.
was busted. You know how he was busted, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good hair gel.
All right, number
he wasn't
three.
the only one shot in a theater in the back of the head that night.
Ew.
On
Also-
the anniversary of
Also in the theater, Bill Cosby and Michael Jackson.
that's a theater. I
A
don't
throwback
wanna go
to last week's episode.
All right,
Number three. He smells it.
no smell
No, that one doesn't have a smell. Let me smell it.
unless my nose is destroyed from drinking tequila.
It's got the smell. I think it's got the smell there. Taste it. By the third shot, he's fucking gingerly sipping these minor. They're like it's like a half, maybe a quarter of a shot in
Maybe
there.
3/4.
That's gin.
Boom.
Did he nail it?
He got it. Even though I said I was gonna wait, so you were wrong on the rum. By the fuck,
Oh, it was rum on the vodka. It was rum.
it was rum. So the last one, let's see if you can guess what it
It's
is.
the last one, vodka.
Well, we'll see what you think it is.
And that's weird because usually I can smell gin. It's
You
not
couldn't
really
smell
my-
it?
I couldn't smell
But
it.
you could taste it.
I could taste it.
Dude, it smells like a juniper bush.
It smells like celery.
And it's
I've never
weird 'cause
smelled
I
the
didn't-
juniper bush, but
I
my
didn't smell it.
my
Like,
thoughts is
Yeah,
celery.
that's gin.
Is
I don't know. Maybe
Dude, celery doesn't have a smell. It smells like water.
that reminds me of celery.
it does kind of smell like celery to me now.
It's a celery.
Now that I think about it.
Throws
No,
up
no,
all
it's
over
bur- it was a burp. That was a solid
It's
burp.
cool. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. It's cool.
It was okay. it was good.
All right,
And
last
the
one.
last one. Also no smell, but that could be to my fucking singed nose hairs from 10 years of smoking cigarettes.
Well, I think tequila and gin have a very distinct smell opposed to other alcohols, which just kind of smell like alcohol.
No, it's an interesting taste. I'm trying to place it.
It's good. It's got a smooth.
It's real smooth. It's not
Real
like
good
you know how
quality.
tequila when you drink tequila. It's got like that piss flavor smell.
I like tequila, man.
You would.
See, for me, tequila, the
Then that one's
smell
gotta
automatically.
That's got to burn.
Let's go. A good burn or a bad burn?
It's warm.
It's warm.
It's warm. It's like a good.
Gloria's
smooth-
drunk.
I'm gonna be drunk.
I'm warm.
What were we? Oh, that reminds me.
I'm not drunk, I'm warm.
The last one.
Vodka.
I was gonna say it has to be vodka if the first one wasn't.
You're not looking at that list, are you?
No, why would I look at the
He wouldn't
list?
cheat.
There's burgers for you
Oh,
guys.
good.
You want me to microwave it? It's been like about an hour.
That's probably close enough.
You want
Probably
something
should
to
eat and try and talk at the same time. I'm more than.
I'm gonna eat while you're drinking.
Yeah.
All right. Dakota.
All right.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Double down, Hoss.
He smells it. Ooh.
It's got a nose.
That last one, did we say what it was for you?
I said vodka because if the first one wasn't, that one has to be.
Yeah, it was vodka.
It was good though. What kind was it?
Tahoe Blue. Dakota.
That's some kind of whiskey. Or rum.
Clearly this guy.
It's a rum. That's rum.
All right, and Dakota's down 1. It is brandy.
Ah, fuck, really? Finish it.
Number 2.
Why am I drinking?
Every single one is that's rum or whiskey.
That's pretty much what it's gonna be.
See, I thought Dakota would know his alcohols. Not the same reaction to the brandy as to this one. Had a late start.
I'm gonna say whiskey on that one.
That one is rum.
Fucking shit!
Coming from the guy who doesn't like rum but likes whiskey. Number 3.
I don't know, is this fucking whiskey?
This one I'm interested in seeing if...
You're interested in the reaction or the guess?
I don't know. I guess all of it.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's actually horse piss. Or was it bull piss?
Oh, God.
Dakota throws up.
That's whiskey.
Not whiskey. That one's cognac.
Oh, what the fuck is cognac?
It's a bourbon, I think.
It's a what?
It's a bourbon, I think.
Is it
isn't
a bourbon?
That's
I don't
a
know.
style of whiskey.
I don't think cognac is
I
bourbon.
don't think it is, man.
I think cognac is cognac.
Oh, my God.
One more to go.
No.
Sitting in the back of the lack, sipping on that yak.
Oh, yeah. Bringing
Henny
you back
bottle
my
to the
gangbanging
face.
Days.
And this one.
Cavassier. That's whiskey. I will get one of these right by guessing that it's whiskey.
So on the fourth guess of 4, guess of whiskey
You should taste it
from the
first.
smell.
100% rubbing alcohol with a little brown food coloring.
Next time we have to make a video.
That was whiskey.
I don't want to play this game ever again. I was saying I like games. I don't like games. Fuck Matt's games.
That was whiskey.
Matt, you come up with mean games. I nailed one. I got one.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I nailed it. I called
You got one. You got whiskey, baby.
My idea for this game came up with thinking, because Dakota claims that he likes whiskey and doesn't like rum. I wanted to see if he could tell the difference.
It's like, this is whiskey? No, that's rum.
So did you like that whiskey or not?
I didn't like any of it. I was not I don't know.
Dakota's crying.
I don't like these games.
Eat that burger before you get drunk.
this game. I don't want to play it anymore.
There's more if you want more.
I'm going to take a break. Let the alcohol surf the burger wave.
Yeah.
Let it roll a little bit.
Anyways, I want to start talking about a little bit of music.
Ooh.
Today's
Smells like alcohol in here. What's
Yeah, I know.
going
A
on?
bunch
Yeah,
of fucking
look.
drunks.
Yeah, what the fuck is this, man? What's going on?
I went to a wedding one time. It was a good friend of mine. And when you go to a wedding, you always take a flask with you, right?
Do you?
Am I right?
Yeah, classy gentleman.
This guy just got married.
Always. Especially if you're in the wedding party, you got to stay, you got to be carrying for the groom because you got to keep him tuned. Otherwise, he'll back out.
Well, maybe one day somebody
So-
else will get married and I could carry a flask around.
I always bring at least one, so usually two. But it was funny because this wedding that I went to, it, like you like polish like half of one before the wedding starts, and then like right after the wedding, unless it's an open bar, you're gonna finish the other two.
What kind of wedding is not an open bar?
I've been to weddings that were at places where there wasn't necessarily an open bar.
You had to pay for drinks?
You had to buy your own drinks.
You had to buy your own? Well, what about a wedding that just didn't have
That's
any?
that's a wedding I don't go to. Because why the fuck do you go other than to say your
Well, Dakota,
say your
what
farewells
was that
to
that
your
you
good
had,
friends?
that mixture, that concoction that I
Okay.
thought was moonshine?
So, my brother and I took 3 handles of whiskey,
Attaboy.
poured it into that.
What kind?
We did 2 bottles of, it's like a Jim Beam apple, and
Interesting.
then 1 of like a straight Jim Beam.
Okay, so one
Cut
of the
down
one of the
the
one of the
apple
fair
flavor.
wise men with the little twist.
Yeah. And then did some lemonade and simple syrup.
There you go.
And we made like a 3-gallon jug of.
It was
Like
strong.
jungle
I
juice.
thought it was like moonshine when I
That's,
tried
that
it.
sounds good.
It was
Like
really good.
It was
apple whiskey, regular whiskey, and like
lemonade.
It was
and
like an
syrup.
apple. My brother was saying it's like an apple old fashioned.
it's like a sour apple.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was super good.
it sounds super good. It sounds crisp.
Yes.
Was it cold? Or was it like you put
yeah,
it on ice? Or?
Put it on ice.
Yeah, that sounds
I enjoyed it
like a party.
Greatly.
That sounds like good
And then
times.
we made an
You know what, dude? I
entire
fucked
3
up.
gallons
Your
of
brother-
kamikaze
Your
shots.
brother fucking sent me a message on Facebook about your bachelor party. And
You
I
didn't
didn't
go?
get it until like a week later.
You didn't go?
I fucking didn't even know about it.
I didn't
because
get
if
invited
you're not
either.
friends with somebody on Facebook and they send you a message on Facebook, it goes into like a separate fucking mailbox.
Yeah, like a hiding
Goes into
mailbox.
the abyss.
It does. It fucking goes like,
Like, you
you'll
can't see it.
You can't see it.
Unless you're looking for it.
Right.
Like you could be like, oh, do I have a message from these fucking people I don't know?
Right.
Which is usually where you get those messages and the friend requests from like the like Facebook whores
Yeah.
or the I like to call them MySpace hookers.
Yeah.
You
Old
remember-
school. Bring it
All
back.
right, bring it back old school. Because remember when MySpace was still a thing, like right out of high school, there were like these fake profiles with pictures of hot chicks.
They still do that.
I know, but it was more prevalent back then.
Where
They've
there's-
kind of
they've got,
controlled it a little
like-
bit, but they've got just enough information to have a profile, and then a bunch of pictures of whatever hot chick who is always posting shit about putting out and. Oh, I'm gonna go party at so and so tonight. Who's coming? And all the fat losers on their couch. I mean, fucking guys like me when I was single. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm going to Novi.
Yeah, I'm going to Novi.
I'm gonna get my blue jeans on and my boots and get this lint out of my belly button. I'll be right there, sweet cheeks. You're like, what would happen if that was a real girl? And then like she was friends with like, I don't know, 500 fat losers who couldn't get girls like that?
And they all show up.
Because that's like, I mean, and they all show up at the same place at the same time,
all
and
end up
she's
playing
actually
Magic.
there. And she's there.
Hey, Miranda, what's up? Hey, Miranda, what's up?
Hey, Miranda.
Friends on
Like
Facebook.
what?
I dug this out of my belly button this morning for you.
I made a small sculpture of you. It's not a voodoo doll. Don't be weirded out.
It also kind of looks like a unicorn.
Well, I would assume that if she started out being
With
not
hair on it.
superficial, she would probably change her opinion real quick.
Probably. She would be like super not superficial.
Right. She'd be like, oh, you know,
Like
just
instantly.
kidding. Right.
Yeah, like I don't care how many friends I have on Facebook. I'm not friends with any of you anymore. And then
like,
she would have
what
to
a
be
sausage party.
escorted to the parking lot by security so she doesn't get raped.
Walk me out. Please walk me out. Seriously, walk me out.
Do you have anybody bigger? Like somebody maybe with a gun? I don't know. You see all those guys in there? They're my MySpace friends. Are you fucking kidding me? Those guys look like fucking losers. I'm surprised they let them in here, but the cover charge is $40, so yeah, we got to make money where we can make it. We should get halfway tuned up before we do podcasts every week.
Yeah.
You're a
My
little
face
red.
is my face is hot.
You're a little red, dude. I didn't drink anything.
I gotta be honest, if I didn't eat this cheeseburger, I would be fucked right now.
That's
I can,
why
like,
I got the
feel it.
cheese. Like, let that grease and that protein fucking soak up that
Oh yeah,
alcohol.
that's what
Well, like we
fitness
had a pretty
and
good one
nutrition is
last
all
week
about.
when we fucking did a shot.
We
before.
did Matt's new shot called the
Poisoned apple.
poison apple.
I'm all out of that fucking whiskey though now.
Oh, what kind was it?
It was the Crown Royal
Oh, that was a
apple
Crown
whiskey,
Apple, yeah.
and then I threw in some sour apple vodka, I believe,
Right.
and
some-
grenadine. And I shook that up, mixed that up,
With a
poured it
touch
in,
of
and then
Jägermeister.
touch of Jägermeister on top. That's
Which
the poison.
it sounds gross when you say plus Jägermeister.
Jaeger.
The Jaggermeister.
I got moves like Jägermeister.
I got moves.
But, it's
influenced
actually-
by
it was-
Jaggermeister.
Really, it was a very interesting drink. Like when you throw a bunch of liquor into a thing,
That's all it takes.
and then you come out with something that's acceptable. I was like, damn, like you could sell that. Like I would serve that at a bar. Seriously.
How do you like the new setup, Dakota?
I definitely feel like weird. Like being able to hear myself talk in my own ears through headphones and like being able to hear
And everybody's in your own head with you.
everyone's in here.
What was that thing that I kept getting close and saying last week?
Radio silence.
Every time we stopped,
It's
nothing
like,
was
yeah,
saying.
it's just like I can see
Dead
my like
space.
long
That pause
dramatic
right there
pause. Oh
was
yeah.
like, Dakota, what do you think?
Like
Radio silence.
I had my phone out. I was trying to find a little piece of trivia that was relevant to something we were talking about last week, and I expected Matt to continue and carry while I was doing that, and he would like ask me a question while I was looking it up, and I'd be like, and then he would go radio silence.
Let's see, Dakota, do you know what drug killed Michael Jackson?
I know what it is now because we
little
looked
boy
it up.
semen. I don't know.
Little boy semen. That's fucking gross.
Radio silence. That just clicked for me.
It's propofol.
What's propofol?
No, I'm sorry. Was it propofol?
Pro-
No, propofol is what they gave me when I had my back injection. Never
didn't
mind.
kill you.
And it wasn't ketamine. It was something else.
Something
Ketamine
gnarly.
is Special K.
Special
Is that the
K.
horse tranquilizer?
Dude.
I don't know what
Have
that
you ever
is.
seen somebody do ketamine? It's like they're like there and then they
What do you
just
mean do
fucking-
ketamine? Like, do people like get that
That's
and
a
do it?
thing.
They
Like a
get stuck
drug
in
that they
K-holes,
do.
as they say.
Really?
And they
Yeah,
like
and it's supposed to be like this insane hallucinogenic drug, and
You can't remember any of it.
no, you remember all of the shit that you like experience on it, but you fucking go somewhere else.
You like
and you
disappear.
can like being around people like doing it and just like, I don't want to do that. No, like because they literally like nothing.
they just fucking zonk out.
You can tell that like nothing that like your eyes can see is like going on for them. It's all fucking in somewhere else.
So my son last year broke his arm.
Yeah, I remember seeing him with this cast.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Yeah, it was cute. He was a badass though, dude. He like took it like a champ. You know, he cried when he first broke it, but when we picked him up, they like had his arm like kind of made in like this makeshift sling and like a little baby blanket at the school because they're not supposed to do anything to it. They're not supposed
Totally
to splint
understand.
it. They just are supposed to immobilize it so he doesn't like move it around and shit. But they had it like in this little sling. It was like made out of blankets and shit. And he was like chilling on a fucking chair watching cartoons when my wife got there to pick him up, and
Hell
he wasn't
yeah.
crying.
They
Like he
didn't-
was a fucking
They didn't
boss.
give him any ketamine, is what you're saying?
Not at the school. So
Not
on
at
the
the
on the ketamine topic, we take him to the hospital and they're x-raying it, looking at it, and the doctors are making the decision as to whether or not it's bad enough, blah, blah, blah. If he needs surgery, doesn't need surgery. They're like, we think we can set it as is. We took the x-rays. It's kind of displaced a little bit, but it's not, the break isn't weird. So
Yeah.
we can give him a sedation, and we can set it and then cast, put a soft cast on it. He was in a soft cast for like 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it was a trip. And then after that third week, he went to the specialist for another x-ray. They looked at it, and they're like, okay, that looks like it's mending well. We're going to put it in a hard cast now. Because if they put it in hard cast too early, it can swell really bad, and the cast becomes unbearable, and they have to cut it off anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't waste the time. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, and they just kind of want to check and
But they
see
want to make sure
what
that
the
it's-
body's doing before.
Yeah. So anyways,
If they have to reset it.
yeah, if they have to reset it, they have to break it again. That's fucked up. Or if they have to do surgery,
Dude,
that's
I'm
even
so
more
lucky
fucked
I've
up.
never broken a bone.
Me too.
Yeah,
Never
dude,
broken
knock on
anything.
wood.
For show. So for show. Dude, I've never broken anything but like fractures and stuff in my hands from doing
Yeah.
stupid shit like punching paper towel dispensers.
Fuck this thing, bam!
Fuck you, paper towel dispenser. So anyway, my wife and I are both in there with our son sitting on this bed, and we've got our phone, and we're just like nonstop playing cartoons on our phone. Like we went over data like hours ago, and it's like we don't care. We're just like trying to make him comfortable, whatever he needs. And the doc comes in and he says, okay, so we're going to set it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give him some ketamine. It's this. It's going to make him look like this. And he's going to look awake, but he's just going to be glassy, and there's going to be nobody home.
Yeah. dude.
And
Somewhere else.
he's like, it freaks people out sometimes to see people like this. I said, but it's okay.
So you're there the entire process.
We're watching. We're sitting there in the thing. We just kind of back
Turns
away
into
from
a zombie.
Well, because he was like afraid to get the shot, but he had a IV already, so it was cool.
Cut to
They
the
just-
day. Every time he's wild, they hook him up with some ketamine.
You know, we just push a couple of milligrams of ketamine and let him snap for about an
You
hour.
crush it onto his cereal in the morning.
Oh yeah, just a little sprinkle here and there. That's fucking awful. I'll get back to that.
This PSA is for the intention of never drugging your children.
Only under
So-
a doctor's supervision.
Only under a doctor's
Cut to
supervision.
Michael Jackson.
You want some Jesus juice?
He died underneath a doctor's
That's
supervision.
what Matt did.
Dr. Michael.
We got here and Matt gave us some Jesus juice,
Yeah, oh
so we
God.
would loosen
I
up a
threw
little
some
bit.
ketamine
Is
in
this
all of those
happening?
shots.
Is this happening? Is this real?
None of this is happening.
Gravity's working backwards. Fuck.
So anyways, the doctor pushes the ketamine, right? And I'm watching, and he's like, because he was already pretty calm to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just turns off. Dude, like somebody flipped the switch. He just like, he glassed up. His eyes were just like, brr. And we were talking to him to make sure he was calm while they were, pushing the drugs and stuff. And then it was gone. He was just like, someplace else. It's just like you say, dude. I
It's
watched. It was
crazy.
creepy as fuck is what it was.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, he was maybe just 4 when it happened. And they waited a little bit and made sure that everything was cool. They were, like, doing the light pen in his eyes to make sure he was non-response. And then, the doctor and, like, 2 nurses and 2 assistants came in, and they, like, it looked gross, dude, because it was, like, bending the wrong way. His arm was facing the wrong way and shit. Yeah. It looked gross as fuck.
They go crunch, crunch, crunch.
But it was, seriously, dude, the doctor grabbed onto his forearm, and then, like, the assistants grabbed onto his upper arm to, like, immobilize it. And the doctor just literally went, like, clink. like, picked it up, plugged it back in. And I wonder, like, if you can feel that, like, on the, like, medically, like, if you can feel it, like,
Well, yeah, that's where it goes.
yeah, just plug it back into the jagged socket that it came from. But
Oh,
anyways,
dude.
that wasn't the gross part, because as soon as they set it, then they put on, like, a soft cast, and they, like, soak this bandage thing, and it's like a splint, and
Yeah.
then they wrap it with ace bandage.
Yeah.
And then they did all that, and they're like, okay, he's probably going to be out for another, 15, 20, right? And when he'll start waking up, and we'll come in and check on him, make sure he's coming back, he's not tripping out or anything, and
Yeah.
we'll just keep checking him, and then when we're satisfied, you guys can go home. And we'll give him some fucking Percocet or something. So, which was a trip. They prescribed him liquid Percocet, which I'm ashamed to say I actually ended up taking at one point.
They're like Flintstones fucking gummy Percocet.
Right? No, it was liquid, dude. It was like 7.5, 325. So it was like the mid-range good Percocets, but in liquid form. Yeah.
For a little kid, for a 4-year-old kid.
But it was liquid, dude. So he's only supposed to take like
drop?
a minor dose. Like I would take like a whole dose. Like
Yeah.
I was like, like Daddy's taking a nap.
That ain't got nothing to do for the next 2 hours. Bam.
Daddy's taking some muscle relaxers and a little bit of this sauce. So, anyways, when he starts waking up from the ketamine was the best part, because it's like those videos you see of people that have their wisdom teeth pulled out or whatever.
I haven't seen any of those.
You haven't seen any? Oh my god, they're hilarious.
It's probably going to be me tomorrow. I got to go get teeth pulled tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be you.
Oh, dude.
So, anyways, he starts waking up. And the glass starts to come off, so the haze starts to fade. And he starts to move his head a little bit. And he's looking at me, and he's looking at the old lady. He's looking at me. And he's looking at the old lady. And then he stares off, like, straight ahead between us, because we're on either side of the bed. And he's not looking at anybody now, because he just looked at both of us, and he's staring off in the distance, and he goes, "Mommy?" And she goes, "Yes, sweetie. Wait, Mommy's right here. I'm holding your hand." "Mommy!" "I can't smell anything." And she's like, "Well, baby, it's probably, the medicine is wearing off that the doctors gave you to fix your arm, and it's going to be okay. Just relax."
I have no legs.
"Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs." So, anyway, and then, we're, trying desperately to not laugh at him at this point, in this state. And same thing, though, dude. He's looking off into space, and he goes, "Daddy?"
Mom, give me an unsatisfactory answer. I must check with you.
Sweetie, Daddy's right here. Daddy's right here. I've been here the whole time, baby. I'm not going to leave you. I'm right here. What do you need? "Daddy?" Like I'm not sitting there. Like I can't hear him. "Why can't I smell anything?" And I wanted so badly to fuck with him.
I was like, because you're high as fuck.
I wanted to tell him,
Tripping balls.
in order to fix your arm, the doctor had to take your nose.
Oh, no.
Don't reach up and touch your face.
No, because it's a mess right now.
Because I have it right here.
But after he got your nose, after he fixed your arm, he gave it back to me. He actually hates that when I take his nose and do the little kid, "I got your nose, I got your nose." He's like, "Give me back my nose!" So, yeah.
I'll murder you.
But watching somebody, a little kid no less, come down off of ketamine is a trip. I didn't know that was a thing
Exactly.
for people to do,
Dude.
recreationally.
It
Where the
was
fuck
like,
do you
never done
get
it.
it?
I don't know where these people
Because
get
that's a highly controlled, fucking IV drug. Like, you got to
Yes.
get that from a doctor.
it. And I have no
Isn't
idea.
it a horse tranquilizer?
It might be.
I had it offered to me by a fellow ski shopian. And
Somebody
I was
you
like,
met.
It was through work. This guy who designed and built his own skis, and he was like, "Dude, got some ketamine, gonna do that shit. Do you want some?" I was like, "No, but
Those
I am
are
curious."
But I do want to watch.
Yeah, I'm curious on how that whole thing works. And yeah, dude, he was just like,
So you went over to his
there,
house
and then he
and-
was gone, and
Did he shoot it up himself?
he didn't shoot it up. He ate it.
It was a pill, right?
Yeah,
Oh, they have pills. That's dope.
yeah, dude.
I mean, I'm not
He
into-
ate it, and
I'm not
literally
into
like
hardcore drugs.
we
but
were talking, and he was just like, "Okay, slow down," and boof, gone.
it's hard to fucking lights out.
He's like, "You find somewhere nice to sit down or lay down, and enjoy the ride."
That's a trip.
Yeah, dude. And I'm into psychedelic drugs, but that's a horse tranquilizer, dude.
That's
Nah,
hardcore.
I'm
That's
not
like
fucking around with anything of that degree myself.
I think I would take like half.
No.
Like whatever you're gonna take, like whatever people do, I'll take half.
I'll take half and see what happens.
And
Yeah,
if it
dude.
doesn't work so good, that's okay.
I'll take
the
a
other
child's
half.
I'll take
portion.
the other half. Yeah. So ketamine trippers
Yeah, dude.
for sure.
Yeah, it's a trip that the human body reacts to some substances that way. Like, oh, you happen to put this certain thing in your body, like you're fucking somewhere else, and like you can tell that, like, I don't know, the guy's name was Pat, but I could tell that he was like awake and he would like say stuff every once in a while. And
Were
like,
you talking to him?
No, I wasn't. There was no fucking way, dude. Like.
He was gone.
He was saying, like, you can tell, like, looking at him, like, nobody's home.
Yeah, but you
dude.
didn't
Like, the
try
house
to
is-
talk to him?
The house is here, but there's nobody home, dude. Like,
The
gone.
lights are fucking like on a timer.
Yeah,
And when the timer goes off, then the people get home.
Right.
yeah, dude. It's a trip.
But it even takes time for them to get in the door, put their coats down.
Yeah,
Like they gotta relax a little bit before you can engage them.
yeah. It's crazy, dude. Crazy.
That is a trip. So when you say you're into psychedelic drugs,
I've done acid.
awesome.
I've done shrooms a few times, and I don't know. I don't know if it's legal anymore because I haven't done it in several years. But a substance called salvia.
Never heard of it.
It was like something you could buy at like shady
GNC.
fucking corner stores.
Oh, like where you get the Spanish fly, or
Spanish fly.
Spanish fly is nothing.
No, it's real.
It's not. It's
No,
fake.
it's real.
It's fake.
It's real.
It's fake.
There's a fucking Van Halen song about it. It has to be real.
No, it's like one of those fake things where like you get Spanish fly and you give it to a girl and they get all horned up.
Right. There's a lot of things that are called that though.
I mean, it maybe someone's like, well, let's call this it because it's been a name that's around for that kind of thing.
Right. Anyway.
So it's like roofies or Spanish fly.
or
Anyways.
your bath salt or your fake
It's
weed.
it's
or,
a lot like the bath salts
The
and the fake
potpourri.
weed. You buy it at the same place. That
Right.
salvia stuff, and yeah, that's a lot like. But it's very very brief. Like you smoke it either out of like a bong or I wouldn't suggest a pipe because it's pretty harsh.
Right.
But you smoke it out of that and then like 10-15 minutes, like poof, gone.
You're trippers for
You're
sure.
tripping
then
and like,
that's
dude,
it.
yeah, I've had some pretty scary trips on that, but done acid once and that was like the greatest experience of my life,
Oh
That's a
yeah,
trip.
I remember you telling me about this.
dude. And I think that it was like the
This was
environment
during
that I
his
did it
midlife
in.
crisis.
Yeah, midlife, middle of my existing life. But
He was born again afterwards.
yay!
I'm a born again
I
acid
don't know. It
tripper.
I just feel like I learned everything that I had thought was like confirmed. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I
It was
remember
like
you.
confirmed 100%, and I was shown this by like this other entity that is
I've had-
undefinable. It's crazy, dude. It was like the greatest day of my life, and I had time to like sit down and have.
I think you have
It's
another greatest day in your life coming up, Dakota.
Oh yeah, and I knew, dude. Like that one day, I solidified so many things, and like the reason that I'm not freaking out about fatherhood, and the reason that I'm not like tripping out, like oh fuck, what are like, is because of that day. Is because everything was
Because
solidified.
You
and I
tripped
was
balls
able
on acid and then everything made sense.
It wasn't, and that was what was like probably the most off-putting part of it is that it wasn't like talking about people on ketamine where it's like you go somewhere the fuck else and like nothing around you is recognizable. It's everything was recognizable and the visuals weren't all that strong. It was like this weird intrinsic feeling that you were able to. It's the closest thing that you can do to being able to like walk into a therapy office and you lay down on the little weird couch sofa thing and then you take a separate part of you, goes and sits in the chair
And you do your own therapy.
and you have a conversation with yourself. And what is real, what are the things that you want to cut out, what things do you and do you not like about your life, and how can you fix those things? How can you address those in a real way? And it took probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks after I took it to kind of digest because there's like, my dad has always said to me, if you spend too much time in should land, like focusing on the way that things should be, you'll be disappointed by the real world constantly. But taking some of that stuff and learning to apply it to your own life, and I think that that's where that whole like confirming things that I already knew is, because I had already been introduced to it being okay to look at the way things should be, and I felt those rather than just thinking them. I felt those things. And being able to like separate and rectify the difference between the two was amazing. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And I don't want to do it all the time. It's not like, oh, acid was amazing, so I'm going to do it like 4 times a year. No, dude, I'll probably do it like another 2 times in my life. Ever.
And you know what's funny is it's hard to find people that have had that, like a really passionate experience with anything, but drugs in particular, because of where it can take you.
Exactly.
Where it can take you in your own head. And it's not about, I mean, it is about the high, but it's not about chasing that high. It's about having the experience and really absorbing it, because I had a similar experience, and it wasn't acid, it was just with weed. But I smoked a whole shitload of weed.
Dude, I've
all
had
at once,
psychotropic effects on weed, dude, where like you fall asleep and you just start fucking like,
So my experience, not quite as revealing as yours, but still really like emotionally freeing, I want to say. And like I was tripped out because I laughed for like 45 minutes because the guys I was hanging out with were funny as fuck. And everything's twice as funny when you're high as shit.
Absolutely.
So I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe, and my like chest muscles and my abs and everything were just like wrecked from laughing. And then I was like, okay, I feel sick. Like, I need to go lay down. Like, I need to get away from you guys. You guys
I have laughed too much. I'm done.
You guys quit fucking talking to me. Quit making me laugh. Quit saying funny shit. And leave me the fuck alone for a minute because I need to breathe. So I went upstairs and I'm laying down and I'm like trying not to puke. And I'm like, just because I had laughed too much. It wasn't the weed that was making me want to puke. But I laid down and my buddy was like, he thought I was tripping. So he's like, put on some music for me to try to keep me like chilled out. I'm laying on the ground in his bedroom with a pillow, and I'm listening to music, and it's like different stuff, you know, some real soft like trance music, and then there was some like bluegrass shit in there. It was weird, like the selections were wide and varied.
A very eclectic mix.
Indeed. And I holler at him down the stairs, and I'm like,
Dad?
I'm like, dude. And he's like, I can't smell anything. I can't smell anything. So I said, like, dude, are you fucking with the radio? And he's like, the radio's not on. And I kind of missed the part where he told me it was like his, I don't know, iTunes or Pandora or something. But I'm listening to this music and it's changing, and it's like really soothing, like grounding music.
Yeah.
And
Suddenly
before
NPR comes on.
Before I called to him, I was like, in my mind, I thought I was making the music up. Like I thought that was.
Why would I think of trance? I don't even like trance.
Guys, I got this awesome song.
I got an awesome idea for a song. Here's the hook.
I'm climbing that stairway to heaven.
But no,
Who's Kevin?
Who's Kevin? Why do I have to climb the stairway to him? Why doesn't he just use the elevator?
What is
Kevin,
that?
come downstairs.
I don't know. We're just making it up.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like it's from something.
No.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm stealing it.
Good.
It's not
Put
yours
that
anymore.
in the next movie. Copyright, trademark, stamped it.
That's right.
But yeah, there's a weird like emotional connection you can get to yourself. Sometimes with the right drug experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've had it a couple of times just smoking weed. Mm-hmm. And it's just like so freeing. You wake up the next day and you're like, man, I was just like tuned in. Like my brain was fucking on. And I don't smoke weed all the time. Like I enjoy a little herb every now and then. It's a good time. You know, usually being an adult keeps you from being able to do it all the time.
Totally.
But I'm like you. Like I wouldn't want to try to chase that high. Like I wouldn't want to be like that all the time because you spend too much time in shitland.
Exactly. You end up
like
disconnected.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's nice to disconnect and tune into like what's going on. I feel like it's
a
was
higher level, man.
Exactly, like thinking on a different level. You're above your own emotions. You're above like the way that you feel about things, and you're able to look at things factually and analyze them for what they are. And there's no getting upset about it. There's no getting,
Everything
like,
just makes so much sense.
exactly. And I think that
It's real
being
transcendence.
being in that headspace, dude. 3 months later, I bought a house. A month after that, I proposed to my now wife, and we're having our child.
High five, bro.
And it was like I knew that I was on that road, but I felt like I had spent so much time just sitting at a crossroad. And 2 weeks later, I changed my career path.
Nicely done.
You know, and now that I'm into that, I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad that I proposed to my wife. I'm glad we bought a house. But I spent years at like this really weird crossroads in my life where I was like between things and I didn't want to nail down because I wasn't sure what it was that I wanted out of life. If that makes any sense.
Acid solves everything.
No.
That's not the take-home message here.
No. Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
But being able to detach from your fears and your maybe what if possibilities and really analyze that space, no matter how you do it, even if you do it through meditation, because you can do
Exactly.
that. And it's about allowing your mind to relax and let go.
And not getting upset at what the things that you might find. Like,
exactly.
You know, and there were some things like, I have read a book a year since taking acid. I fucking hate reading, dude. But I see value in it. And why am I not one of those people who reads? What fucking excuse do I have other than profound laziness? And again, I see a value in it.
Absolutely. And there is value there, even if it's just minor, language pickup, like use new words.
Exactly.
Or meaning to words.
Exactly.
Even if you don't care about the story or the message or anything else that's in the fucking book, you get something from it.
Yeah.
And there's always value there.
Yeah, there's something to take home from that story. And I don't know, man. It's, again, there are maybe like between 2 and 3 times that I will ever do that in my life.
I thought you read all the time, man.
No.
Bullshit,
Nicole,
dude. You read all the time.
No.
I know Nicole reads all the time.
Nicole reads more than any other human being that I have ever met in my entire life, dude. Entire life.
She probably didn't read more than me.
She was telling me in 2016, she read 83 books.
That's a lot.
83 books. Dude,
in the 1 year?
I bought her.
That's like a couple of
Harry
books
Potter,
a week.
and like there's like a new Harry Potter book that came out.
It's a play.
Either way, I bought that
You
for
could probably
her.
read that in an hour, though.
She read that in like an hour and a half. I was super upset. I was
Scripts
like, dude,
are easy to read.
I spent $30 on that fucking book, and it's like it's substantial. And she read it in a night. Like, oh,
You've
that's
read
great.
scripts before, Dakota.
I know, but I don't know. It's different. I don't know.
It wasn't like
It feels like you didn't get your money worth.
page
Dude, I can't-
Harry Potter novel. It was probably like
For me, I look at
120 page script.
It amazes me that like she goes into like this weird fugue state when she reads, where like you can tell that like
the ketamine is set in.
You know what's funny about that though? I enjoy reading as long as it's something like a
Zombie fucking
a topic that
series.
I enjoy.
Yeah.
I have a handful of zombie series that I read. You fuck face.
For me, I can't read fiction. I can't like get over. For some odd reason, during a movie, I have this ability to suspend my disbelief.
But you can't read it.
I can't read it because when I'm reading it, I'm like hyper analyzing it. If that makes any sense, because
Yeah.
I cannot read faster than I speak. I am reading that book aloud to myself in my head,
Yeah.
and I don't read any faster
And that's
than that.
that's a reading skill thing that
Totally.
maybe you'll eventually pick up
And
if you
that's-
continue to read.
Again, I
Why
came
you
to that
keep doing it.
Exactly. Hopefully that I will be able to work through stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I really enjoy books that that replace the ideals that religion has brought in, that religion has existed for. Things that contemplate why we exist, what's after us.
Sure.
You know, like ideas of legacy, what we leave behind. The
What
things
happens
that-
after.
Exactly, the intangibles for us, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
And I just really enjoy books that tackle that because I'm able to delve in. I'm able to delve in and analyze it and think it as much as I can, or as much as I want to, and I'm not going to find any loopholes in it. Or if I do,
So you're a nonfiction kind of guy.
Exactly.
And you know what?
The first book that I read
That's
was-
respectable though.
The first book that I read was a first-hand account of a man climbing Mount Everest, because there's no plot holes. There's nothing to second guess. You're being told a story of someone's real life experience.
Exactly.
You know?
When I first started reading, because I was much like you. I hated reading, and I went my entire scholastic career, if you will, K through 12.
Yeah.
I never read an entire book front to back for school. Never did it. Never wanted
Read enough
to.
to write a book report because they want you to leave the ending out anyways, and boom.
Exactly. Like
got that so
I
many.
faked everything I had to fake.
Cliff notes.
Exactly. Like I cheated fucking, and my teachers would probably fucking hate to hear that I never actually read any of the shit they assigned. But
How dare you!
you know, I hated English, I hated reading, I hated all that shit that went with it. And then when I was, I don't know, I had to have been 22, 23, we were at the bookstore, we were at Barnes & Noble. And my wife was looking at some books because she was looking for something particular. And I was like, well, I'm going to go...
I'm out of Stella, so here, have it, Karen.
I'm going to go look around and see if I can find something cool to look at while you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
And I went up to the history section, and I was kind of getting into, I don't know, like this history phase where I was interested heavily in actual history. I was taking some history classes at TMCC, and I was like, fuck, I'll check some shit out. And I picked up this book called 1453. And it's literally, it's a fiction, nonfiction.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Based in reality.
Where the reality of the story is, the bones of it is what actually happened.
Yeah.
But the book is written in such a way that it tells a story to cover the history period.
Yeah.
So it might talk about a specific thing
Well,
that
like
nobody could ever
Schindler's
prove.
List is like that.
Yeah.
Schindler's List is a narrative book. About
It's a
something that
fictional
really
narrative that covers an actual event.
happened. And Truman Capote's In Cold Blood is also similarly written as a
Radio silence.
Radio silence. Radio awkwardness.
So that was the first book that I picked up when I first started reading. And I picked this book up and I read like a chapter or two of it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And then I put it down. And I was like, I don't have time for this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I made a reason why I didn't have time to read.
How old were you?
I was like probably 22,
Oh, okay.
23 maybe.
Not like 10.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean,
Late bloomer.
yeah, absolutely, way late bloomer. I could have covered a lot more ground by now. But anyway, so I put this book down and read like a couple of chapters. It's not a very long book. I mean, it's paperback novel. It's about like, yay big, right?
In a very audio, non-visual format. You're showing
Yeah, I
me a
mean,
size.
I'm showing you so you understand about how big that is. I was hoping you'd chime in with like a page count, but
Oh, well, it looks like about a regularly sized 400, 500 page book.
yeah, but not super long. Like I've read longer books since. But I read a couple of chapters out of this thing and I'm like, it's pretty interesting. The story's cool because it's about, the Ottoman Empire and the Byzantine Empire before the Turks kind of blow the whole fucking rest of the Holy Roman Empire out of the water, and that shit's over for a while. But it covers that period of time before Columbus that nobody really talks about.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about the time before Columbus. Everybody talks, oh, Columbus.
Maybe you don't talk about that.
Okay, but in history, in school, they don't cover
I don't
it.
know what circles you're hanging out in, Corey.
Hey, look here, Dune Coon. So anyways, I put this book down and I pick it back up. And then I like binge read. I binge
Radio
read.
silence.
I binge read the rest of the book in like a day. Right? So I'll read a couple chapters, put it down for a couple of months, and I binge read the whole rest of the thing in like a day. On a Saturday. Like I spent my entire Saturday reading this thing.
Yeah.
Which fucking totally out of character for me, especially at the time. And then I'm like,
Because usually you're cruising MySpace for any cool parties for hot chicks.
MySpace, exactly. No, I had
And it's come full circle.
And we're back to where we started.
We never got to talk about music.
Yeah, well, this is more important. Books are important.
Did you
too.
guys come up with any kind of like what is the most influential albums, artists, songs? I know Dakota's a big music guy, huge music guy. Like,
I kind of want to hear what
Like-
Corey was saying. We'll wrap that up. We got 5 minutes left for a square hour. Or if we want to go
We've been
over,
going like $1.30 most of the time.
then there we go, dude. We got plenty of time for music.
Yeah, we'll cover music in the second, third.
Third period.
So
go ahead
anyways,
with your book
I was
reading.
just like you, fucking no reading, like bullshit. No thanks. I'd rather party and drink and play pool.
Yeah.
So I read this one book. I'm like, wow, that was really good. I need more. Like it was like fucking. It was weird. It was like a drug because you can disconnect and go to that place.
Yeah.
And then, life gets in the way. We bought a house. Blah blah blah. I kind of put it aside again. But it wasn't because I didn't want to anymore. It was because I legitimately didn't have time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm really looking for a new book. Like I'm looking for something to start with, And then we go to the bookstore again. And I see some shit. And I'm kind of getting into like prepping and that kind of apocalypse mindset type thing. And I just start looking for shit about that. And then next thing you know, dude,
like
I'm reading
theoretical
theoretical
or fiction.
both.
Theoretical fiction.
Theoretical fiction. Well, both types. Like I'll read, theoretical fiction stories about how the
You an L.
United
Ron
States
Hubbard
will.
fan?
I don't know who that is. I've heard the name.
Were you reading Dianetics?
Scientology.
Okay, that's why I've heard the name.
You pick up yourself a copy of Dianetics and fucking Battlefield Earth.
Dianetics Jr. much better than Krishna. Dianetics Jr. much better indeed.
And all you people here, you're
Tremendous. Except the people in the back. You're smoking up a big ass bowl of weed. Me and KG. All right. Oh yeah. All right. Oh my God. All the ladies in the house say yeah. All these motherfuckers say a prayers. When you fight, you got to fight fair. You motherfucker. You motherfucker. You know what time it is? It's Tenacious D time. You motherfucker go. Fuck yeah.
Oh my God. Perfect
Radio
transition.
silence.
Radio silence.
Perfect transition. I feel like there are so many different kinds of music that I like, and one of my biggest like fanatical stages of music that I enjoyed was when I got into Tenacious D. It introduced me to this whole different kind of music that exists, and they use music as a tool for comedy, but it's still good music.
They have a good mix of both, and I'm a huge D fan.
Exactly, like Tenacious D. If you
Corey loves the D.
Corey loves the D. You had to be a faggot and go there. Everything you say is
It's
gay.
wishful thinking, Matt. Whatever.
I chime in every few minutes with some kind of funny joke.
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes.
Anecdotal dick jokes.
Total dick jokes. To break the tension.
Would you say that Tenacious D is metal? I mean, they've got that song.
Okay, so
The metal. They have the song The Metal.
So I would not classify them as metal, although a lot of like their chord progressions and the things that they play are based in metal. It's the instrumentation that makes it not metal.
Because they play it acoustically. Like a
Exactly.
majority of their lead, or not lead, but the rhythms are all acoustic.
Yeah.
And Cage does a fucking awesome job of bringing that shit together. I mean, he's a genius with the
Dude.
acoustic guitar. Like, I am like, dude, how the fuck does he do that?
Exactly, to make it sound metal-ish.
Because
but
it sounds
again,
edgy and gritty, but it also sounds smooth and clean and acoustic.
You want a cool fun fact?
Fun facts.
Who is the drummer on every single Tenacious D album?
Oh, well,
Is
come
it a
on.
famous drummer?
Yes. It's Dave Grohl.
Is it really?
Yes, from Nirvana, and then he's the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, and obviously he played guitar. But all through that era, he got his drumming fix. He has played the drums on absolutely every
D
Tenacious
album.
D album, and he was the devil in their movie.
Really?
Yes.
In the Pick of Destiny.
Yep.
See, I got turned on to Tenacious D in high school,
Yep.
and I don't know when they came out, but I think they had been doing some early TV comedy stuff with it.
Yeah, an HBO show.
Yeah, they're
Their
an HBO show.
is fucking hilarious.
It's when they bring all the songs and the acting that goes with the song. It's kind of like a music video for all their tunes on the original album.
Yeah, it's like a story for the to back up
The music.
the music, dude. Oh god, each episode is like about a different song. Oh god, dude, it's fucking hilarious.
And I remember, it's funny because I remember when I got to watch that the first time, and then like I watched a little bit of it, and then I had to go find it, like on DVD, or we had it downloaded. I think we torrented it or something when
Yeah.
we were like back in the day. But it was at fucking
LimeWire.
Ryan Kelly's birthday party in high school. We went to his house and we did like, I don't know,
Bunch of ketamine and listened
bunch
to
of ketamine and listened to
Tenacious
Tenacious D while we were smoking weed
Wait,
and eating cheeseburgers while we were reading.
wait, what?
It happened to be that same night that I laid down on the floor in my best friend's bedroom, fucking high off of weed, listening to
No,
music.
that was much longer after that. But Tenacious D is a serious it's a serious middle ground for a lot of things.
Exactly,
And a lot of people don't like it because the language is a little crude or the blah 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 blah. And it's like, really, if you listen, I can listen to, I want to say 99% of the original album, the Tenacious D self-titled, the one that everybody knows.
They call it the Black Album.
Sure. Did they call it the Black Album? I need another copy because I wore mine out.
Oh, dude.
Dude, I had it in the CD player on my car on
digitally,
fucking
man.
loop.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just burned it up. I'm a physical media kind of guy. That's why I still own books.
Yeah, but I mean,
I have a problem with books. I buy books and then I don't get rid of them.
well, neither do I.
Dude.
But sometimes you're out and you have your phone,
It's true.
and it's
It's
like,
true.
oh fuck, because I'll be at work and I won't I'll forgot a book and I'll just bring up my fucking Kindle and I can read. I've got Game of Thrones on here that I kind of.
I have done.
When I
that.
don't have anything else, I can pull out my phone. And read
I've done
Game
that.
of Thrones.
You gotta smack that vein and get the digital fix.
fix.
You know what I used to do when I run out of books to read, and I'd be waiting for a new book to come and the series to continue. I would go on Amazon and I would read.
Customers also
The
bought.
synopsis.
I would read because sometimes they let you look at the book, like front page, back page, and then they would let you read the first few pages of the story just if you liked it.
The title page.
Well, no,
author's
they would
dedication.
they would
page
give you,
one, and
like-
that's it.
They would give you a little bit of the story. Like some of the authors would allow some of the story to be on the website, and I would just read 10 pages, however far they let you go, and then I'd go to the next one and read the next 10 pages when I was
You got,
bored.
10 books of the first 10 pages.
Yeah,
All
I would
done.
start all kinds of shit, and then some of them I would order because some of them were really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm a total whore for the obvious books.
yeah, you're you're a fanboy for all the pop culture stuff, huh?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to trust somebody new. Like movies, I can watch them all in an hour and a half.
Harry
It's-
Potter.
No, I
Didn't read it?
I hated the fourth one, and so I quit.
You read
I
them
read
though.
the
You read the
first
first
one.
three.
Well, because it got big, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll read it. I read the first book in a day. I read the second book in a day. Because it was when the movie was coming out, and it's like, okay, I'll read the third book, which I liked.
Dude, I literally cannot process words on a page that fast. To read a book in a day.
I've read two
No,
books
but what
this
else can you
week.
process just as quickly, Dakota? You've got what you like, and it may not be reading, but you're really good at about a million other things.
That's true.
When
But I
everybody's
just haven't
brain,
practiced reading.
well, and people's brains
Practice
process
makes
differently,
perfect.
Yeah.
and you process differently, and I think you can. I don't want to call it speed reading because it's really not. I think it's just how fast you can visually process words into your head.
And that's Nicole, like I was saying, she goes into that weird fugue state, and she says that it's her eyes are moving across the page and taking in the words, and then she's this separate part of her brain is able to go through and create a picture and create what this character would look like and what this character would look like and what their voice would sound like. And
I don't go as far as to detail the
Well, look.
character's facial features, but I do get a kind of a pictorial. I get a movie.
yeah,
And I was going to kind of try to tie the books in with the drugs and the what if state that you were talking about earlier. Was that what you called
Should-land.
it? The should land. Okay. I call it would have stayed should land. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was a period of time in my life for about, I don't know, a year and a half, which is a long period of time when you're talking about what I'm going to tell you. I was super dissatisfied with my life. Like, I didn't want to do anything I was currently doing. I hated my job. I didn't want to be in my situation that I was in. I wanted everything to change. I wanted to like get on a fucking motorcycle and leave and go who
Start
fucking knows
over.
where. Like just go rogue and start over.
Yeah.
But I used books as this like weird mental drug to disconnect me from my life.
Yeah.
And I try not to do that now. That's why I don't read as much as I used to, because I was killing a book a day at that time. Between my breaks, lunch, before and after work. So I mean, I'm not reading all day long. I'm reading when I get 5 or 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm killing a book a day. And they're not huge books. Some of them were bigger than others. Some of them took me a few
it all
days.
depends upon the fucking quality of writing. Like fucking Nicholas Sparks. You know who Nicholas Sparks is?
I know the
Like,
name.
Romance novels.
Yeah, he wrote romance novels. I can kill those in a day.
Brain drivel.
Brain drivel. But like Game of Thrones, which is 1,000-page epics.
Tom Clancy.
It takes me. I like to soak it in a little bit more.
Even I think I want to say like Stephen King.
Absolutely.
I haven't read Stephen King in a while, but he's a little thicker than Brain Drivel. Like it's a little bit. It takes more to process what he's saying.
And that's when I had to do AR points in high
That's the only
school.
reason I started.
Dude,
actually,
Stephen King was the shit.
Yeah,
I
but
kn-
see,
still
when I
think
was at
Running
Hug High
Man
School,
is
when
like
I
one of
was
the best books that I've ever read.
when I was at Hug, the Stephen King books were not on the reading list. They didn't have tests for them until it didn't fucking matter when you had to read books.
right.
At Hug, the first 2 years, they had a separate class for reading and English
Right.
that were required.
What?
Which is bullshit.
And then once I went to North Valleys, they just put reading into English.
right.
Yeah, and that's all 4 years I had to read for my English class. It's
But
like,
it was
okay,
a brand new
this-
program when they were
this semester
rolling in the computer
you
tests.
Have, like,
You have to get this many
get
points.
This many points, and then you have to get this many points this semester.
You know what I was doing? I was reading these abridged children's versions of books that were maybe like 100 pages long and really, really quick reads.
Cheater.
And I failed a test of a book like Patriot Games. I read Patriot Games, and I failed that fucking test, and that set me back a while because that was a long book. And so I read like Three Musketeers, 100-page abridged version, and Three Musketeers is a huge novel.
Yeah.
And it's very
you
fucking.
pass the
Oh, I
test?
aced it and got a shit ton of points for fucking
Nice.
Three Musketeers.
Nice.
That's the biggest book that I ever read in a very short period of time. Was my dad bartered with my English teacher my junior year of high school,
so you could pass.
so that if I got this many AR points, and it was like 100 AR points,
Which
like,
was a lot,
I should have
like-
been reading a shitload.
Or you
during
had
the
to read a really
semester.
big ass book.
I read Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand
That's a classic
In-
title.
What is the
over
who
Christmas
is
break.
who is
John Galt.
John Galt?
I will never fucking forget that book.
Did you
That's
watch
the
that
most-
3-part movie they
That
just
is the
put out?
most. What?
They
They
just
put out
put
a
out
movie?
like a very dedicated, very adapted 3-part movie.
I will be looking that up.
Was the book
Because
good?
I'm hoping
That's a fucking.
the book.
That's
is,
a book for those like this guy.
The book is very, very like, and this I
Isn't that an anarchist type book?
exactly
Anti-disestablishment.
So who John?
Because
Galt,
it's, you know why I ask is
John
because
Galt
it's on my list.
Who John Galt is a man who they don't directly say this, but it's basically that he creates a machine that will create perpetual energy, and it will eliminate the need for all of these huge industries.
Totally
So what
anti-government.
these
Something
huge
that will never happen
exactly
in the society that we live
and
in.
this is why
The car
So
companies, the oil companies,
So what happens?
the doctors.
So no. What happens is that these companies come to him, and so what the book is they're searching for this man, because he comes out like, yo, I've created this machine, and then he disappears.
Yeah, because he knows it's a fucking death sentence.
I mean, look who we just hired as president.
It's not a death sentence. He decides that it's not worth it.
To himself. Or it's not worth
If you're
the trouble
looking
it
to
would
read
cause.
the book, it's not worth it. That's
Okay.
the only thing. And the only thing that I hated about that book was the ending. The ending was like when you watch you watch a fucking 3-hour long movie
And then it's anticlimax.
and then it literally just like resolves nothing and then long pan out into the sky.
Yeah, like that bullshit ending
You're
on
like,
the fuck was that movie that we watched recently?
Cinderella.
Yeah, I didn't watch that yet.
The
No,
new
you
Cinderella?
watched Cinderella.
I watched
No,
Cinderella,
this is
I didn't watch
that's
Snow
a
White.
Callback to last episode.
I didn't watch
A movie
Snow
we
White.
both watched.
No, Whiplash. That was a
Oh.
fucking bullshit ending. That was actually a music title, by the way.
Whiplash.
Acting like a maniac. Oh, dude.
The one I was thinking of was Lucifer's Hammer, which is another one that's on. It's an older title and it's on my list.
A book.
It's a book called Lucifer's Hammer, but I'm not sure what it's about yet. But it's like one of those books that's recommended by like-minded individuals of the prepping class.
I don't know. I would
Like,
suggest
look, anything
and
by
the-
Chuck
and
Palahniuk I
realistically-
read. Anything by Stephen King I read. I'll grab an author and I'll
Have
read
you
all
ever
this
read
stuff.
Running Man?
Yeah, you know that I read Running Man. I
I
started writing the movie for you
You know what's
years
funny?
ago and never finished.
I lied a little bit earlier
Because
because I remembered in high school I didn't read anything
Take your
assigned.
pants off.
I didn't read
Bend
anything
over.
assigned in high school.
So that
But
was
there
my
were-
problem with reading.
There were 3 books that I read cover to cover and wanted more that I read on my own time for no reason. Renegades,
Running Man,
no. The other one, it was Stephen King.
Regulators.
Regulators and the fuck was the other one called? It was the same kind of story,
Desperation.
but Desperation under his other nom de guerre.
That was Regulators. Regulators.
Regulators
Richard
was
Bachman.
under, yeah. But I read that one, and then I read 3001: Space Odyssey.
Is that a good book?
I enjoyed it.
No, he says 3001, which is the fourth.
That's
the first one's 2001.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I actually own all of them now because I never read the books. I saw the movies.
3001's the one that
And
I
3000
did read.
is
I
the
read
one-
the other 3 books. but not that
3001
one.
is the one that they didn't make a movie out of.
I hear
Okay.
Tom Hanks wants to make that into a movie.
Hey, they're all about
He wants to make
throwbacks
the
these
other
days.
2.
Remake
No,
2000.
he doesn't want to remake those. He wants to make the 2 that
Oh, he
come
wants to
after.
make
20,
so there's 20.
69, 68, 67, something like
Yeah,
that.
because there's 2001, 2010, and then there's
260,
20.
279 maybe.
I think I have it, so I have to check.
And
but
then
and 3001.
2001.
But it was kind of funny because I had seen the movies and I thought 3001 was like the last part of the story.
Yeah.
So I just pick it up and I'm like, fuck, I've seen the movies. I'll just read the book, the last one. And I read it and I was like, wow, I should read the other books. Because it actually brings the story like full circle.
Did
And
you
it
see that
actually
movie?
is good.
2001: The Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
No.
That you probably wouldn't like it.
You're not a
Right.
Kubrick fan though, are you?
I am not a Kubrick fan, but I am not against a good-looking movie. 2001's a
True.
good-looking movie,
Indeed.
but I think Kubrick.
Okay, I've seen like oh hey, like you should watch this movie and like on like YouTube. No, uninterested.
No, maybe you,
know-
should
you know
watch
the
it.
style
Maybe you
of-
should watch.
You know the
2001.
style of movie that I would equate that to?
Drop some ketamine.
Eraserhead.
I know, but it's
And
not.
I
It's not the same as
wasted
2001.
an entire evening trying to get with this super
You
artsy
need to
hot
let that
chick.
go. You need
Dude,
to
that
let
pissed
Eraserhead
me
go.
off. That was the worst movie I have ever
And
watched.
you didn't like Mulholland Drive, but you liked fucking Memento.
Okay, Memento. There was a
It's a mystery movie, not unlike Mulholland Drive. I
Mulholland
know that.
Drive. Is,
Mulholland Drive is not a fucking mystery.
Exactly. It's much more obscure.
It's an
And-
obscure mind fuck, is what it is.
Exactly. And it's and when movies are trying too hard to be a mind fuck,
I don't
rather
think that
than
movie was
telling a
trying too
story
hard.
and as a subsequential like
Accidental mind fucking.
exactly where it's like incidental and it ties into the story and there's something there that fucks your mind rather than like I'm just gonna throw a bunch of random ass visuals at you.
Hold on.
And
Not everything is for everybody.
It's true. Mulholland Drive.
Okay, no.
This guy looks like I just dropped him some ketamine.
No. I cannot
Lost
stand
over.
the
Daddy?
argument. I cannot stand the argument, and this is again. We'll
You don't
tie
like
back
my
to music.
argument that
I
everybody...
don't like the argument that like, oh well, that's how I feel, so you have to validate that. There should be nothing wrong with me asking you to explain yourself or asking more of you.
Well, yeah, no, I
Explain
like those.
yourself.
I
Why
like
the
those
fuck
kind
do you
of
like?
movies.
Why the fuck do you like Mulholland Drive? What do you take from that movie that you didn't have before, other than being confused at the fact that you just spent an hour and a half watching Mulholland Drive and you got no idea what the fuck's going on?
I had no fucking clue what that movie was about when it was over.
Exactly.
You know what's funny? I went on a trip about like watching fucked up movies like that. The other one I watched that was like fucked up that I had no idea what it was about after that was Pi.
I didn't see Pi.
You did or you didn't?
I did not see
Wait, The
Pi.
Life of Pi?
No. Pi. It's actually the
The
pie,
symbol, the pie
the symbol
symbol.
for pie. It's a weird black and white,
It's a Darren Aronofsky film.
and it's very like, what the fuck do they like?
Mindfuck.
It's mind fucky, but I'm trying to think of like
Surreal.
yeah, it's just weird visuals,
Doesn't
a
he
lot of
like
strange shit.
fucking
He
drills
he
a
does
hole in his
drill a
head?
hole in his head at the end of the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
For me, I look at like there are times to get obscure, but when it ties back into the main
No,
story.
I like Mulholland Drive. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I've never not liked it when I sat down and watched it. It's been a long time. I've got a copy of it that I haven't watched yet, so it's coming up to me watching it again.
Okay.
But I mean, I do like.
The part where
I
she's
like- no,
punching
for
herself
every-
in the vagina because she's angry about her
I
lesbian
like
girlfriend.
Naomi Watts.
Every-
That's the only thing.
I'll go
every
with
movie type, I like to try to put myself into what it is. If it's a horror movie, I want to be scared. If it's a comedy, I want to laugh.
Absolutely.
And
but-
Mulholland Drive, I went in knowing it was a mystery, thriller, suspense.
I think that like intentionally dodging resolving situations, I think is and it might be that I just can't let go of the fact that it frustrates me.
Well, then everyone's going to take
Enormously.
something different away from
But I
everything
think
too.
but I think that obscure visuals that represent something that is supposed to be taking place in the story.
Yeah, but
It's
look,
a Robin Williams movie called 1 Hour Photo.
yeah,
And there's these things where he's having these enormous hallucinations, and there's these grandiose visuals of like the store that he works in flooding with blood, but that represents something back in real life, and and it means something.
Yeah.
it's an artistic interpretation of something that they express in the movie.
well, not
Or
every
that-
filmmaker is going to hold your hand through the entire film.
It's not that they're holding our hand.
And not everyone's going
And
to
you
like
have
everyone's
to-
stuff.
you have-
Not everyone's going to like my stuff.
You have to take the ability to deduce and go through and dissect what parts of the movie relate to others. And obviously there's a big disconnect between his hallucinations and what's going on in the created reality for this movie. When there's a complete disconnect and there is absolutely no bearing or anything to take back from these, it's gratuitous.
Well, look at Mulholland
It's
Drive as like a
gratuitous.
dream.
It's like
Look at you, Dakota, when you're dropping acid because you're in a situation that you don't quite feel okay with.
But how
and
would
suddenly
that
you
connect?
have a moment of clarity post dropping this acid, and suddenly things are looking a little bit more clearer, if not like...
Even if they don't have anything to do with what's actually going on.
No. What the fuck are you saying? Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
just
Exactly.
saying.
No. And this is where I want.
So in Mulholland
Okay.
Drive, the girl, her situation is completely bonkers. And let's say she kills herself. And in the instant in which the bullet is going into her head and she's dying, she kind of has this moment of where everything flashes before her eyes, which is the main part of the movie. And it's kind of like a disjointed version of what actually it is. So like that last half hour of the movie where it's kind of in rewind and you're seeing basically all the same events in a different order in a different way, where it's kind of fucked up and you see the reality of what her life was up till the point where she kills herself and then the movie ends.
But there's no tie to reality.
And that's the point.
No. I don't think that that's the point. What I think that is gratuitous. That's it. It's gratuitous. It means nothing. And
It means nothing to you.
But
You know what I think is great about this conversation, though, in general, and what's great about the movie Mulholland Drive, because I've had this conversation with 10 different people. I didn't necessarily care for the movie on the same level you did. 'Cause it mostly didn't fucking make sense to me.
exactly.
But
Yeah, but if you're going to
It
sit
was
down
also-
and watch a movie like you're going to fucking sit down and watch Transformers, like you're going to go sit down and watch Mulholland Drive.
it was also somewhat...
Yeah, you go into it with two entirely different mindsets. I totally
It was also somewhat enjoyable. I can enjoy that movie for what it is because I'm a movie thinker. Probably like you are, and like you are, Matt. You like to try to figure out the movie. You like to have meaning for the movie, what's going on in the person's life.
For me, I understand that it's a piece of art, and it is my discretion to take something from that. But where I disagree with Matt, and where I don't like where a lot of that like mind frame, or when I come across people who are justifying things on those same grounds, is that I'm the bad guy for
Because you don't
asking
like
you
it.
to justify it. For you to explain to me why you like it, and your only explanation is, well, I like it because, and we go back to that whole thing of what's wrong with our fucking planet right now. Is that no, everybody wants to justify shit based on our feelings and the way that we feel, and that there should be no further justification than I feel this way. Fuck that, dude. No,
But
I should
feel
be
that
able to
way.
criticize you, and you should be criticizing the world around you.
Absolutely.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
but when
take
I
in.
tell you I like it, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, well that movie sucks. Fuck you."
Well,
It's
if
like,
you
okay,
gave
then
me-
what do you want?
If you gave me
I'm not trying to
justification-
convince you to like it. I'm just letting you know what the movie's about and letting you know that I like it.
And I think Dakota, in fairness, Matt just did justify why he likes it because he took a meaning from the movie. And what I was getting at when I was first started saying what is funny is I have had this conversation about this very movie with 10 other people.
And they can't justify it, or they
No,
do
I'm
the
not
same
saying
thing?
I'm not saying that nobody can justify it because I kind of came to a similar conclusion that a lot of it was a hallucination or some kind of post-cognition
dream.
or something strange like that. And that's where I draw my conclusion from. But if two people who didn't really care for the movie have had the same conversation multiple times, I think the director's done what they intended to do with the movie. And it may have been... I'm not trying to give them props. Okay? I already fucking told you I didn't like the movie either. Okay? I already went there. But it has already evoked conversation. And I think that obscure art is supposed to do that.
So,
Here's your soapbox to come.
all right.
You have 8 minutes.
And it may or may not be my lack of understanding, or it may be my lack of understanding
Hold on,
that drives
Dakota.
these conversations.
You are not a stupid person in any sense of the
I know.
word. You are smart, and you get a lot of things. And I'm not saying that you don't get movies. So, I forgot where I was going with that.
For
but
me,
go ahead.
what I was planning to do was draw the parallels between, because film is art. Movies are art. It's an art form that we experience. We experience it in a different way than, like, you know, a sculpture or a painting. But to...
It reaches more levels
For-
than something just visual can do, though. It's audio, it's visual,
Exactly.
it's
It feels
emotional,
like-
it's
it
audio,
feels
visual,
like-
and emotional because you can get drawn into these characters and you can feel.
Exactly.
You can put yourself in a position with these characters in a movie, even if the characters suck. You still put yourself there and you feel it, so you can experience this type of art on the most personal level.
It's not like
So,
I'm saying,
no, no,
like,
no, no.
Dakota, you don't like Mulholland Drive, fuck you, you're an idiot.
No. And I'm not saying that...
You don't like Nickelback?
I'm not saying that because you like that movie, you're an idiot. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that, or what I'm trying to draw a parallel between is that idea of abstract art and
You're
where-
saying
where
it's too
I'm-
abstract.
Exactly.
Who the
And-
fuck are you to say how
and-
someone does their own art?
Okay, so now we go back to the feeling of justification. If there is no craft, it's the reason why I can walk up to, if I were to ever go and see the Mona Lisa live in person, I hope to, but again, it may not ever happen. But there is a craft. There is a skill that is possessed by very few to be able to paint that onto a piece of canvas.
Right.
If I go and I see...
But if I said,
But,
Dakota,
no, no,
draw
no.
me the Mona Lisa.
No. But what I'm saying is that the equivalent to me of what Mulholland Drive is where you go in, like, you see, oh, there's a square and a line, and they're, like, the backdrop's tan, and that's supposed to cost me $30,000.
It's like going to see a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, do you like Jackson Pollock?
No!
I can go throw some paint against the fucking thing.
Exactly.
It's like that shit you got hanging on the wall right there.
I don't like this shit, okay? This is
I'm
not
not-
mine.
No, I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm
I like movie posters, all right?
not. I like
Matt.
movie posters too.
But that's what I'm talking about.
It's a bunch
Is
of
there-
squares, and
is
some
there-
of them are uneven.
But is that equal to other paintings?
Yeah, but who am I to criticize if someone likes it?
Because that means something else to somebody entirely different. But what I'm going to
That's
ask of somebody,
fascism.
no, what I'm going to ask of somebody when I'm standing in an art museum and I'm looking at this piece of art and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And somebody's just, you can tell they're enthralled and they're moved.
That's
I'm going
not
to ask
okay?
them, what is going on for you that isn't happening for me when you look at this? Because, again, and this is something that if we want to transition to music, for me, what blows my mind when I listen to music, because I like to envision it being created. I like to envision what would be going on
What's
while it's
something
being
you don't
played.
like musically? Who do you not like?
I don't like
Who
EDM.
can you not stand?
I don't like.
Oh my
like,
God,
Where
you
it's
don't
just
like-
repetitive. and this dipshit, exactly like what's going on.
Radio silence. silence.
That song's going viral. I hope you all know that. Anyways, but and the reason
The
that
system
I don't
is down.
The reason that I don't like electronic music is because the way that it's created. What's beautiful about a band coming together is that it is the collaborative effort between 3 and 8 guys to make one sound, and it is the culmination of hours and hours of practice, not only for themselves to be able to play their own instrument competently, but to be able to
Play that
connect
instrument
their sound to other sounds
and play it at the same time as somebody else.
Exactly.
Playing the same thing they're playing, except playing
to
it differently.
Create an entire sound. So listening to EDM is like looking at a painting like this. Is that okay? Here's some shapes that I already basically understand, and I'm gonna do some colors. And I'm gonna paint this one a different color.
Why is that line crooked?
But exactly.
Here's a little shading.
And that feeling of like, why is that like that? And why the fuck do people like that? I get that feeling when I watch Mulholland Drive. Is because it's gratuitous. It's over the top.
Is this gratuitous?
Yes. It is gratuitously basic. And that's what some people like it.
Basic. Basically gratuitous.
Basically gratuitous.
Basically.
Radio silence. Yeah,
That's some
but I
basic
don't
bitch
honestly like
shit.
look, fucking okay, Mulholland Drive is not a bad movie, okay?
What movie?
I think that
There are plenty of shitty fucking movies out there. That movie is well made, it's well acted,
it's well produced. It's production. The money that guy got a nice camera and he got some fucking cinematographers to go and point cameras at hot actors and who could act well. The
So basically
production-
everything that makes a good movie.
Exactly. It's
A good
production.
movie.
It's production.
Minus the story.
The story was shit. And the director was a fucking moron. And I do not like that movie. That guy created obscure art. That guy fucking created obscure art, and we're supposed to suck his dick for that. And I don't get it. Because all that dude did was paint some fucking squares. Fuck that guy.
Guy's a fucking idiot.
Oh fuck.
I do love you, Dakota. I enjoy your brutal honesty. We're supposed to suck his dick. I don't get it.
It's that. I don't know, dude.
Okay, Matt, what's so obviously Dakota hates with fucking passion Mulholland
hates
The
Drive.
Mulholland
fact
Drive.
that Matt had me waste an hour and a half of my life
But
watching
you
that
liked
movie.
Memento. Those movies are kind of parallel.
Okay, so if you look at Mulholland Drive and you're talking about like,
We're talking in circles at this point.
you're right. So
Matt,
Memento.
what's your Mulholland Drive on a Dakota
There
level?
you go.
Like, what movie do you hate? And don't say fucking Transformers,
I
or I'll
hate
slap
Transformers.
you. I'll slap you.
Anything Vin Diesel is in.
You can't say that.
X. Yeah, you watched Triple X.
have
I'm willing to
not
bet you
watched- I
haven't.
I have not watched Triple X.
None of them.
No.
You haven't seen the one with Ice Cube?
No.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I have not.
Wasn't there a 3?
There-
No, there was
out
Triple X
Friday.
and State of the Union, and then the new one.
Mm-hmm.
It's Triple X.
Triple X.
I think this
XX.
one isn't this one called State of the Union?
No.
No.
This one's just called Triple
That
X.
was
I think
the
it's,
one
no,
with
I think it's
Ice
Return
Cube.
of Xander Cage.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Xander Cage.
Just kind of
Like
weird
what?
name.
Yeah, but see, I've gotten to the point where, like, sure, there are movies that I hate,
Like,
but somebody
Example.
else likes that movie. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that someone else can't take away from it. And it's not my place to tell somebody, you're an idiot or something like that.
I think
You're
that,
wrong. I can't say that you're wrong if somebody likes it.
Yeah,
because
and I think what Dakota wants is justification, and not necessarily to convince, although I don't think he accepts justification very well. I think what he wants is an explanation
Mr. fucking
of...
hippie tree hugger fucking.
I'm all about
You're a
people
tree hugger?
feeling. Dude, I'm all about
trees.
trees, dude. We need
I'm all
trees.
about the tree, too.
Them trees. Smoke trees.
Smoke them trees. Okay, so I think what Dakota was... And correct me if I am
Play
wrong.
devil's advocate, please.
I'm going to, is what you're asking for, other than you're fired up about not liking Mulholland Drive, and that's a totally legit,
or abstract art.
or Squares.
It's whatever lies outside of your perception of art is abstract.
True. Okay, so Dakota would really like to know, and I think what he would really like to know is the legitimate reason why you like Mulholland Drive.
Or why people
Or
like
why
EDM.
people like EDM,
Or
or-
like.
Well,
like
I don't have
things-
anyone sitting here who likes to go all the time.
I actually do like EDM.
Do you really?
Why?
I like gratuitous bass.
Okay.
And really, as we were talking before, music is a feeling thing, and it's you like to visualize the song being made and the production and visualizing the band members coming together and making this stuff. And I've made, quote unquote, some short, EDM tracks of my own with a really basic program that I got for like next to nothing at Office Max or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But and it takes a skill, and I'm not going to even compare it to actual musical instrument playing skill. But
Because you play it once. That's what. That's.
Yeah.
I guess that's the.
And
the
there are
frustration.
people
So
who-
you're
there are
saying
people
you're
who
not
do-
going and
there are
you're not
people who do-
touring, playing your instruments to a
Yeah.
crowd. You're just hitting play.
and I mean there are people who
pretending
do
to-
like DJ live performance EDM stuff, and that's a thing. But most of your EDM music is not created that way. It's generated on a computer. You
That-
could do it on a laptop by yourself, and you figure out, what your tempo is going to be,
While
where you're
watching
going to
Mulholland
throw
Drive.
in,
Yeah,
where you're
and
going to throw in your
you're like,
weird
okay,
sound,
so
and your
bass, and then we'll do 4 basses, and then we'll throw a snare, and then we'll do quarter notes of that, quarter notes of that, quarter notes of that, layered accordingly. Boom, there you go.
exactly. And you can
Motherfucking
make
like it really is that easy, and I totally understand that people take the time to do that, and there's a skill in knowing that, like, whether or not you're going to base a song on 4s or 3s or
Well, and it's
and
not
you
just
can
that, but
base
it's-
beats off of
it's that. It's also, it's more of a technology skill where you're in tune with the ability to use the technology
that makes sense.
and maybe what would be aesthetic as far as musical goes, because the technology requires, it's like editing a movie. You have to have some skills and some ability to finesse things together and get the transitions right and to get
Yeah.
the timing and to put the sounds in and to get the score overlaid and do all the things that it takes to do that. Anybody could do it. Anybody could sit down with Vegas Pro or whatever you're going to use and cut together a movie.
Yeah.
But if you and I cut together the same movie, one of them's probably going to be better. And
Makes
it might
sense.
be yours because you've done it before. Or maybe you've done it before, maybe you haven't. I've never done it. I've seen an editing program twice now, and actually used it once because we were sitting here fucking around with it.
I've done.
So I like EDM because I enjoy, and I don't like it all. Like there are good EDM like producers. I won't even call them bands because they're really not.
Yeah.
But there are good EDM producers, and there are ones that, like, I fucking love Skrillex. Like that is one of my favorite ones, and that's probably trendy as fuck to say.
Whatever.
But I don't care. I like what they do because I think the talent comes from sampling. The
Yes,
talent
and
they have
knowing
is an
what-
ear for sampling and how to
what
tweak
to
that
pull
sample and how to change it and how to make it part of your music and make it make sense in the music.
Yeah.
And I mean, have you ever watched a Skrillex music video?
They're rad.
Fucking totally rad. So there you go with that. Like there is a place for it, and I think, and as all things are, there are good and bad.
Absolutely.
Like not all EDM is created equal. Some of it fucking blows. But I went through a huge like gratuitous bass phase in high school, just like a lot of people did. But
I don't know.
EDM bass mechanics, everything I could download that was bass driven was burned on a CD and in my player at 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So, there's an explanation for that. Mulholland Drive is artistic, and Matt, I think, gave a reasonable answer for what that movie kind of could stand for. I will accept that answer because that makes more sense than anything I thought of.
Exactly.
And I think that's what you're asking for is let's try to make sense of something that's bullshit. If I take that picture and I say, well, I like it because, and I don't like it, but let's be fucking honest here.
Let's suspend disbelief.
But if I look at it, I can visualize things. It's like, to me, it's like looking at a cloud. When you see a dinosaur, or you see, a kitty cat or a fucking emoji face or something like that, you see things. I see things in wood grain pattern.
What's an emoji? face?
I see things in drywall texture. Like I see patterns and pictures and like weird shit, and I'm like, I wonder if I should like, when I see stuff like that, I should like get something and then draw it. Like I wonder if that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like no, to take it and then like try to draw it, or like I actually did this for a little while when my son was super young. We would be at the table doing art, and he would like do some unintelligible shit with a marker that didn't make any sense and wasn't a picture of anything. It was just a bunch of scribbly shit.
Yeah, and then try and make it.
And then I would take that and I would copy what he had done, or some of the lines or the shapes and sizes, and I would make that into
Have you seen
an actual
those?
drawing.
Yeah, it's a
like,
game.
have you seen those? Like,
I've seen. That's where I got the idea. I saw it on the internet
Yeah.
where
I
people
used to
do
get
that.
Super stoned and do that.
like they'll take their fucking child's scribble drawings and then
Like turn it into art.
right.
Which I think is a super cool idea. And if I look at that, that weird square painting, it kind of it looks like perspective to me.
I mean,
It looks like a
it's
there's
abstract.
it's abstract, but I can make it make sense. Like it's
it kind of looks like a staircase
perspective
right there
picture of
at
something.
the top.
on the left side there's a staircase. On the top, like maybe an upper floor. It looks
some
like old
people
Mexico
get it,
to
though.
me.
Like, if you've ever seen the movie Seven, and
Oh, which one is that?
this one with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman,
Oh God.
and
Spoiler alert.
He kills a rich guy. He kills a rich guy, and they're in his high rise in his penthouse office or whatever, and the wife's there, and they're like, "Is there anything looks out of place?" And there's like a big giant abstract painting, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's upside down." Because nobody in their right fucking mind, like we could look at these right now and be like, "Are they right side up? Are they upside down?"
You know what
I
we
have an
should do
idea.
Is flip them
Let's
upside down
over.
and see if Rose.
Well, the
notices.
only thing is I think what I mean, I've got no problem with that, but I think that the thing that they're hanging on
Is only on one side.
is all like.
we can pull it out of the frame and flip the whole thing over.
I think it's worth a try.
All right, well, let's do that because I gotta blow out of here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's
let's
time
call
for me
this
to
an
go to bed.
episode.
So
You gotta go to work tomorrow.
I do have to work tomorrow.
You have to work tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow's my Martin Luther King Day.
Are you serious?
Are you taking your floating holiday?
Well, I mean that's what they give you,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
and I'm gonna go get my teeth pulled.
going in at
Oh fuck that, dude.
5:00. So
And I was off
There at
today to go
6.
to the dentist, and they sent me somewhere else. So what? What a waste of.
you got to go to the endo.
I gotta go to an oral surgeon.
Oh, dude.
Pulling. Which teeth?
The back tooth right here and this one over here.
Nice.
Ow.
Fuck that. I got all mine still, so.
Painkillers.
And ketamine. Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll do this again. It's been interesting.
Absolutely. I enjoy podcasting
If
with
only like
Dakota.
Dakota didn't have like
A life.
funky schedule.
What do you mean a funky schedule?
He works 9 to
like,
5.
Like 4 o'clock is what you're saying today. And then
Yes. Well,
switched up.
typically, yeah. I've been working 10s the last 2
And
weeks.
we're probably never gonna see you
And they
again
were
here
like,
pretty soon,
"Oh."
anyways, when your kid is born.
Dude, I'll bring the fucking kid with me. I don't give a shit.
Daddy?
I don't get it. I'll give
Why
him
can't
some
I smell
ketamine
anything?
and he'll just fucking tin out for them. All
All
right.
right.
Well, that was good.
I'm Corey.
I'm Dakota Kids.
Next week we'll be discussing Mulholland Drive.
And Radio
Again.
Silence.
Peace.